What's going on, guys? CKD1 to the video, and today we are finally discussing and finally reviewing the long anticipated, long awaited Party Next Door 3 by yours truly. Well, not me, but by yours truly, Party Next Door. I love P&D, man. I'm just a really big P&D fan. I've always been ever since he first came out with his self-titled mixtape a couple of years ago, and I'm glad that he's on OVO. I'm glad that he's surrounded by people, that compliment him, that compliment his style of music a lot, you know what I'm saying, that pull him to a higher pedestal, you know what I'm saying. So I really am a big P&D fan, and I remember seeing him live, and he's amazing live, so I can't wait to get into his album again, his third album, and this one's pretty big. It's a pretty hefty album, 16 tracks, so it's not anything that he's put out in the past where it's kind of been like 12 tracks, 10 tracks. This is and actually a fleshed out and very long album. And he even said last night on the tweet that he said something about how he doesn't really speak a lot, he's very quiet, and he's gonna say a lot of things on this album, and he can't wait for us to hear. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say. So let's just get right into it. This is track 1, High Hopes, a 7-minute song, guys. 7 minutes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Kevin, relax, calm down. Okay, we're gonna go to track 1, High Hopes.
Don't you back it up. Taking trips down memory lane. I hope if we link up things are
okay. So High Hopes. I found the song, very interesting, right? I don't know. I'm actually not really even sure if I liked it or not, to be honest. It was a very interesting track, and there were at times where the song kind of sounded like a weird mix and mashup between old R&B and new R&B. There were a lot of times where the instrumental sounded like a very new R&B that you hear every day, as opposed to his vocals that kind of sounded like old school style. So I'm not sure what really he was going for. It was basically a mix of the two different styles, but it kind of sounded like a rough draft of a song. You know what I'm saying? It sounded like this is something that he still needed to chop down and edit, and make what he envisioned the song to be. But it's he just was like, no, I like this now. It's okay. I like it. Not that that's a bad thing, but it just sounded kind of like a rough draft of a final song that he was gonna make. I don't know. It just sounded kind of weird to me. It sounded really weird, and there's this weird part at the 4-minute mark where he's talking and he's like, let me get on it. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate it, bro. But there were a lot of times where he sounded kind of suspect. And yeah, I mean I don't know how I feel about this track. Definitely not the best intro I've ever heard to an album. And maybe it gets better. I mean, I assume it gets better. I hope it gets better. We're talking about Party Next Door here. But yeah, a very interesting track. I wouldn't say it's bad. I just say it's it's very different. It's something that you would probably have to marinate on and kind of listen to it more to get its feel for it. But this is gonna be track 2, Don't Run. Track 2, Don't Run.
She said she wanna come to Toronto. She wanna come to the 6 side. She know that's the best side. Caravana.
Okay, Don't Run, track 2. I like that track. I like it a lot. I like it. It's a very classic P&D song, right? This is basically, his style, cut and paste. You know what I'm saying? How, he has just parts where he's singing segments and it goes along with the instrumental, and the instrumental is kind of laid back and not outlandish and crazy. That is definitely a P&D style song, and this is definitely very much a P&D style, and there was something that he talked about in this song. He talks about how he wants to go have dinner with her parents and go take her on, it sounds like a very, very different P&D, you know what I'm saying, from always, from at least what we're used to, right? I don't know if this whole album is kind of like this new P&D type of way, but he does sound kind of like he wants to there's stuff about settling down and meeting the parents, stuff like that. It's something that is very different from the usual Party Next Door. So this is definitely enticing me. I'm definitely interested in what else this album has to offer. And along with that, I just felt the song was a super laid back song. It's something that you can play late at night. Something that is just a classic P&D. I love this track. This track is very, very good. This is a really strong track coming out of track 2. Just great. I mean, I don't know, beautiful. I love it. And kind of the title "Don't Run" is basically saying like, oh, like don't like fight, don't fight that. We have a connection here. Basically, is what he was trying to get at the song. If I heard it correctly, I believe that's kind of what the premise of the song was. It was very good. Loved it. We're going now. We're going to track 3, Nobody. Track 3, Nobody.
I don't care to say, shout. Need you, and nobody but you, nobody but you.
Okay, track 3, Nobody. I like to start off by saying the line "Met you in Texas, left you in Texas" is a classic party lyric. Definitely, that is something that he has some of those lines where it's like what's that one line where it goes like, oh, you're from Philly, but I met you in Houston, whatever it was. Like, what I'm saying? It has like, that's definitely a Party Next Door lyric. They big stuff from a mile away. But this song had like a lighter tone than track 2. It's something that, I definitely appreciated, and it felt very close to track 2. It felt like, they were kind of made in tandem and they were supposed to go back to back, which is fine. But just this one had like a lighter tone to it, as opposed to track 2. Like, kind of like track 2 kind of sounded like it was more of like a winter feel, and this one kind of more felt like a summer. It felt like a very, like a little bit lighter, nothing like insanely, like extravagant and light, but it was a very light-hearted song at times, right? And we see the different P&D I was talking about again here, where he says, he talks about loyalty and says, got it for nobody but you. There's a very much a different tone that we're seeing here. What I'm saying? We're not seeing the like younger Party Next Door, the one that goes around and just sings over. Like, I think we're talking about like commitment here. We're talking about loyalty here. We're talking about love here. So this is very different than what we're used to with Party Next Door. This is why I'm so intrigued right now, is because we're hearing these different elements in his music. So I can't wait to get further into the album. But now we're gonna go to track 4, Not Nice. This released prior to the album dropping, and I know this track already. It's a pretty good track, but I'll give you, my quick thoughts afterwards. But this is track 4, Not Nice.
Want me to watch you do you? Don't get you look so nice, but you're not nice, you're rude. Look what you're putting me through. I never do this to you.
All right, Not Nice. It's a very, this song. I mean, we heard this, before the album came out. No big deal. What I'm saying? There's some light work, but this track is not light work. It has a lot of vibes to it. I love it. Got that Jamaican feel to it. It kind of sounds like Controller off of Views. Just kind of like a faster version of that song. But that doesn't deter from the song. It's a great song. You wanna get up, and do a little move whenever you hear Not Nice. It's definitely a good song. Very good song. I like it a lot. It has a lot of vibes to it. Just oh well, just a great song. I don't got a lot to say to it just because I've already heard it. But yeah, I mean, great song. I mean, what else, guys? What else he gonna say? What else? What is he gonna say? Go ahead, tell me. Exactly. All right, we're gonna go to track 5, Only You. Track 5, Only You.
Left me alone. You left me abandoned, girl. 'Cause if it's passion that you want, gave it to you thousands on thousands times over. You said that my
Dude, wow. Okay, this is again one of those tracks where like I was legitimately depressed when the song ended. I was legitimately mad. You know what I'm saying? Now, this track again suffers from being too short. This track has way too good of a beat and way too good of vocals to be only 3 minutes long. I mean, not 3, but 2. 55, whatever. Round up, legit, round up. But wow, dude, when oh man, when you first played that song as that merengue, listen. You other Dominicans out there, I know you're watching. If you're Dominican, leave in the comments below. If you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. This song has this beat. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to do it right now, but you know what I'm talking about. This song has a merengue pace. It is great, dude. Yo, this song is highlight. Right now, this is a highlight of the album. We're only 5 in, but this is a highlight. He had very, very strong vocals in the song. It was very strong. I was impressed. Like, he was going notes that I never heard him go before. Like, he was pretty high in the note, In the note repertoire, he was pretty high. I was really impressed. And, again, we with the title of the song, we get, again, those, that new P&D about, only you being loyal, what I'm saying? Like, kind of, he's talking about, only wanting you. And like, I guess like there's a premise in the song where like she thinks that he's with other people, but you know he just only wants her. You know, it's that you know different vibe we're getting from P&D in this album. You know, this element, you know, of loyalty, you know, that stuff like that. So I freaking love this song. This was great. Man, if we weren't recording, boys, I would play this over, but we recording. So this is definitely going to be in the car when I get to work. This is definitely going to be a repeat track. But now we're going to track 6, Don't Know How. Track 6, Don't Know How.
Disappointed, especially knowing this is all you wanted. All this time I spent slowing it down.
Okay, track 6. You know, right off the bat, this definitely sounds like old style P&D, right? Where you get, you know, the writing about, you know, sexual stuff and like, you know, being, you know, just talking about, you know, sex and all that. You know, there's definitely a old school style P&D at first, right? But then, you know, when he starts to explain the intentions, you know, of the girl that he's with, right? He, you know, says like, oh, this girl just wants sex. I want some deeper. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. So like it's almost like, you know, this song is kind of like a split. It's kind of like a divide between, you know, P&D 2 and P&D the mixtapes to right now. You know, it's kind of like in between that middle where like, man, like he wants some deeper, but you know, he just goes in, you know, and just, you know, does whatever, you know, has to be done. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely, you know, this song is short, right? It's about the same length as track 5, but I feel like it is better off short. Not that that's a bad thing, just that I feel like this song, you know, it just has a nice feeling and nice, you know, cohesive, you know, kind of element to it, I guess you would say, you know, that it lends itself to being short, right? It's not like this song needs to be longer, not that it needs to be shorter, but it's just, you know, at that sweet spot, just for the content of the song, it definitely fits in with just a 3-minute song. So, you know, I definitely appreciate that it was cut when it needed to be cut. You know, it didn't want to, like, it didn't try to do anything, you know, extravagant, anything longer than 3 minutes. It just cut, you know, to write what it was good at. So I definitely appreciate that. But, you know, pretty good song. Not a highlight, but definitely pretty good song. We're going to track 7, Problems and Selfless. Problems and Selfless, track 7.
I hope my son has his problems. Why do these things?
Wow. Wow. This song, definitely in the beginning, is an attention grabber, and that's what, you know, it's trying to do, at least in my opinion. It's trying to grab attention for what is about to come, because what came from that attention grabber is a Party Next Door that we have never seen. At first, you know, it reminded me a lot of The Weeknd, right? And The Weeknd, you know, back in his old days, you know, not from his albums, but like his mixtape days. And the song, you know, kept up with that feeling about being like The Weeknd, right? And how this song was really sad, man. This song was sad and mundane, and man, this song is sad, dude. This song got me feeling type of way. Like, this song was seriously, like, why I've never thought in a million years that, like, he would make a song like this, you know, expressing this much emotion, this much, you know, this much pain in a song. Right? I never thought. And he starts preaching, man. He's preaching. Like, he specifically calls out, you know, the girls, right? Like, whatever he's talking about. And, like, you know, he explains to them that, no, you say, like, I'm selfish, I'm selfless, and, like, he's just expressing so much pain, and he's like, what did I do for you to do this? Like, yo, this is some raw stuff. Like, I need to listen to that again on the real. That's another highlight of the album. We're here, track 7, naming it now, another highlight of the album, right? This is something that you're gonna want to repeat and play back and back. Wow, that song was deep. That song was a really deep, sad song. I'm definitely gonna be putting on repeat, but we can't do a repeat now. We're going to keep moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to track 8, Temptations. Track 8, Temptations.
Sure healing. Oh, what a feeling.
Wow. This review is going to be me saying wow in front of every song now. But first and foremost, about Temptations. Nice nod to Marvin Gaye at the beginning. I love Marvin Gaye. Good, you know, reps up to Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? Reps up. But this song carries the same, sad, mundane lyrics of track 7, but I wouldn't say the feeling. Like, kind of, the instrumentals of the song and the overall tone of it is a little bit more, lighter in a way, but it's still, kind of mundane. It still has like mundane set elements to the track, but there is definitely, a lighter vibe to it, overall, I would say. There's definitely, it's not as mundane and as sad as track 7, but the lyrics are still, as sad as track 7. You know what I'm saying? It is still, and there was something, where it kind of clicked at the end of the song for me. And it was, he was saying, "You're still my number one," but if we look at that line, and he's talking about, kind of like looking back on something, like he's looking back on a relationship, I guess, if you can put it that way. And the title is called Temptations, right? I think what he's going for in the song is that he's struggling with having to separate himself from that and being tempted to, try and rekindle and try and do something, with this relationship that has died, right? And him kind of looking back at it saying, yeah, like, you're still my number one. So that's something that definitely personally right now, definitely I can relate to personally. Definitely right now I can definitely relate. So that's why I kind of had that like moment of, oh wait a minute, I know what the song's about. Like, I know what he's talking about here. Like, it's definitely one of those moments I had that I haven't had a long time in music. And I'm pretty sure that you guys can feel for this song. You guys, I'm sure the people out there that can feel with this song. Definitely a really, really good song. Again, one of those songs that suffers from being too short. I want it to be longer, but it is what it is, man. It's only 2 minutes 40 seconds. It's probably the shortest song, is it? Yeah, the shortest song of the whole album. And man, that says a lot. To how short of the song is and how big of an impact it can have on somebody. Like, that's some big stuff, man. That's no joke. But right now we're going to track 9, Spitiful. Track 9, Spitiful.
Taking shots, girl. See you ain't forgot, girl. Don't be surprised.
Okay, Spiteful. I know, I'm beginning. I said Spitiful. What am I doing? Spiteful. I meant, my bad. Excuse my English. I meant Spiteful. But this is kind of him dealing with the pain that he professed in 7 and 8. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely him trying to come to terms and trying to move on and trying to, find healing in what he's going through, right? Is how I took this song. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also, at that same point kind of giving, her, whoever hurt him some way to deal with it too, kind of like telling her like, oh, don't be spiteful that I have other girls because you have other men, kind of like that. Like, he was kind of doing that type of thing, in the song. And and kind of a way that I saw that he was trying to deal with it was that, like, oh, I found you. He said, I found you, I can find more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's him kind of trying to deal with these emotions that he has. And the instrumental, I'd say, is very, very different. It is a very interesting instrumental. It is something that, I've never heard before in a Party Next Door song. You know what I'm saying? So it was very different. But at the same time, it kind of lost me at times just because, like, of how there was times where it kind of just sounded like it was so drawn out and so, just kind of, just waiting for something to happen. And, you're still waiting and, like, nothing's really happening and you're still waiting. You guys know, So there were a lot of times where, like, I felt kind of drawn out and it kind of just lost me at times, definitely. Just how the instrumental was just too drawn out at certain points. Not the whole song, but just at certain points. But this song, I feel like, kind of suffers from being too long, to that point, actually. This song could have, said what it needed to be said. Just in a shorter time frame, but I kind of understand it too because he's kind of if he's dealing with this, he's kind of then venting. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually people will just vent. So I guess in this song he's kind of doing the same thing where he's kind of just venting on the track and just putting out everything he has to put out. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely do appreciate the song. Not my highlight, but definitely appreciate it. We're going on to track 10, Joy. Track 10, Joy.
I love you. Easier to say than mean it these days.
Wow. Look, man, this song got me teary-eyed and having chills already, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Okay. Joy. Wow. This has a similar instrumental to track 9 in a lot of ways, and like the guitar especially. So I feel like there are a lot of times in this album where like the songs were made in pairs. You know what I'm saying? How there was another instance earlier where, well, there's one I can point out right now where it was track 4 and track 5. They have similar feelings, like they have similar instrumentals to them. You know what I'm saying? And there's another area of that, but I forgot which pair was it. But like there's this is like the third time it's happened where two songs sound like they were back to back, and they were made in tandem. Like they were kind of made in pairs. Like they were made to be right next to each other. So that's definitely another case we have here with track 9 and 10. It's definitely a more upbeat, but such a mundane like feeling to it, man. And I would say, track 9 is dealing with his emotions and dealing with this externally, as opposed to track 10 where he's dealing with it internally, right? And like the things that he brings up in this song are like super, super deep and super internal, and something that, anybody would just want to deal with inside, not on the outside, right? And so, he is definitely talking about, like, there's a quote where he says, "I love you, easier said than done." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, would it make things harder if I said I love you? Or like, it's stuff like that. And it's something that, is freaky how much I can relate to. It's very freaky and scary how much I can relate to this. The just going on with the title, he says, "I want to feel joy." And I feel like there are a lot of people that, if you pick up on what he's going through in this album, they have felt that. You know what I'm saying? I totally 100% feel Party Next Door in a way that I've never portrayed. Like I've never related to him as much as I have in this album. You know what I'm saying? This wow, like I'm over here getting chills during the song. I'm over here like half freaking crying. You know what I'm saying? This is this new P&D. I like, dude. This is a very different PNXD. Very different P&D. Sorry. I love this track. This is again another highlight, along with track 5, and this one is definitely a for sure highlight, and will be a repeat in the car. Now we're gonna go to track 11. You've Been Missed. Track 11. You've Been Missed.
It's so lonely in a sense right now. Lonely, baby. It's so lonely in a sense right now. It's
wow. I don't even know, man. This song is kind of like the kind of conclusion of 9 and 10. At least I think so. I don't know if it gets even sadder than this at this point. But this is definitely kind of like a conclusion track to 9 and 10, if I were to say. The instrumental, is pretty cut and paste. Nothing, crazy about this instrumental. It's something that is pretty common with P&D. So the instrumental definitely wasn't the highlight of the song, in my opinion. It's the tone of the song. You know what I'm saying? This tone is kind of like giving yourself a pep talk. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to terms with, yeah, you're in a bad spot, you're in a bad place. Let's try and pull yourself up, bro. Let's try and get some better vibes in here. You know what I'm saying? But by trying to get better vibes is not like trying to be upbeat or trying to be anything funky or trying to be anything pop wise. It's kind of coming to terms with it being okay that you're sad. It's coming to terms with like being okay that yes, you're feeling remorse, you're feeling pain, you're feeling sorrow, you're feeling lonely. He even says it's all lonely in the 6 right now. It's like he just feels lonely. You know what I'm saying? And like it's not that it's like dwelling on it just because to dwell on it. It's to dwell on it that way you are comfortable with feeling this way, and kind of trying to transition out of that. I love this track, especially at the end with that piano. That was beautiful. That was a nice touch too. I felt like that song needed that little piano, like it needed like a little something different in the track, because the instrumental was just so like cut and paste, kind of boring. But the piano at the end definitely added to the song. It definitely added it in a great way. So definitely did enjoy that piano. But that was a really good song, man. This is something that you play late night when you're kind of just vibing out. Definitely a very good song. We're going to track 12, Transparency. Track 12, Transparency.
26 grams in the blunt and 30 ounces of vodka. Let's head dive in the truth. I'm fucking somebody's daughter. Spend my tithe on babe. Somehow.
The song is interesting. The song is very. it has a lot of elements of, it's kind of like a mix. How there was that one track, I forgot which one it was, but it had kind of that double old school versus new school Party Next Door type of thing, where like it was doing with a elements of love and loyalty and all that versus drugs and sex. And this song definitely does show that with a lot of sex and drugs, and it does come up a little bit here in the song. And so that is definitely kind of showing old school Party Next Door. You know what I'm saying? But in this song, it kind of sounds like, I don't know, I wouldn't say taking shots. I would say just being kind of raw and being kind of cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? Because like he says stuff like 3 a.m. in Toronto, I know you still want me. 4 a.m. in Toronto, I know you still want me. Like it's stuff like that. Like he's like just trying to telling her to be honest with herself. You know what I'm saying? It's like you still have that Porsche, you have that Maybach. You see me in my Porsche, my Maybach. I know you still want me. Like he is basically wanting her to be transparent with him. Hence the name of the song. But he wants her to be just as honest as he's being, you know what I'm saying, and like stop playing these games, stop lying, all that stuff like that. So it's a very interesting track. I wasn't expecting a track like this after what we've heard so far. I didn't figure him taking this type of route, you know what I'm saying. It's something that definitely caught me off guard. But it was a pretty decent song. Nothing that I feel like I'm gonna put on repeat or whatever. But it was a pretty good song. Nothing insane. But yeah, we're gonna go on to track 13, Brown Skin. Track 13, Brown Skin.
You do things that's only for the camera. Oh, girl, let me down.
This is probably the weakest song out of the whole album. I don't know. I just found this song kind of weird. I don't want to say forced. It just kind of sounded like it wasn't intended to be on this album. You know what I'm saying? This kind of just sounds like something that he would just put on a SoundCloud and just let it fly solo, just by itself. But yeah, they're really I don't really understand this song. Like I kind of get why it's here. I understand the premise, saying like, oh, I need your love, brown skin, whatever. But it just felt kind of boring to me. It kind of felt like the song just kind of wasn't doing it for me personally. I don't know, just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it. Wasn't vibing with it at all. Yeah, I don't know. This one kind of let me down. Didn't really like it. We're going to track. We're just gonna skip this one. I don't know. We're just gonna skip this one, right? We're gonna act like this track, track 13, Brown Skin. We're gonna act like this is the unlucky track, hence being a 13. We're just gonna skip this one. We're just gonna hop over it. We're just gonna act like none of this happened. Now we're gonna go to track 14, 1942. Track 14, 1942.
Yeah, we in 1942 tequila. Yeah.
All right, 1942 Tequila. Now, this song, has a definitely like an edgy feel to it. I feel like it's better than Brown Skin, but it's still like kind of to me. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of parts where like I liked it, and there are a lot of good vocals in this track that I definitely liked, and I kind of, I definitely feel for the premise of the song. I totally understand this song as opposed to track 13. 13 definitely didn't make any sense. But track 14, I definitely understand it. You kind of just, I feel like maybe he needed like a club song, but this doesn't really sound like a club song. Just because like it kind of sounds kind of mundane, and kind of boring and kind of flat. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if this had a better instrumental, like a very hyped up instrumental, it would definitely coincide with 1942 Tequila, placed in the club. It makes a lot of sense. But just this song kind of sounds kind of mundane and meh, and it has a long lead in, which is interesting because I wasn't expecting a long lead in to kind of like a track that would have been better, kind of as a club song. But yeah, I mean, pretty good vocals. Kind of a mess song for me, definitely middle of the road. Nothing extravagant, nothing insane. So we're just gonna move on. We're gonna go to track 15, Come and See Me. Of course, this is one of the key mark songs of the album, and I've definitely heard this before because got my boy Drake on it. So already heard it, but it's a good song. Why not? Give it a listen, give you guys my, a little some thoughts here and there about it, and then we're gonna go on to the finale of this album. So we're gonna track 15, "Come and See Me." Track 15, "Come and See Me."
How she hit me with this, come and see me for once. Come and see me for once. Oh, y'all never come to me. Y'all never come to me.
"Come and See Me," track 15. Now, there's vibes all over this track. I love this track. This track is, to me personally, like, I feel like this is definitely a late night track, something that, you want to play when you're driving home, when you're, out with your friends over, or, with your girl, whatever. You just, driving home late night, chilling, no one's on the streets. Is definitely a very good song, for that type of mood. You know what I'm saying? It has a very, very nice feel to the song. And this hard note is really kind of hard not to sing to. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of the songs, like, it very much lent itself to, like, karaoke, or like lent itself to, a nice, easy song, to sing. You know what I'm saying? Not taking away from Party Next Door's ability. I'm just saying this is, just a nice song to sing. At least for me, I find myself, having to hold back from, singing to this song. And of course, Drake. I mean, come on. Are we even gonna discuss this? Like, come on, really? Having Six God on your track, automatically gives it, a 10 out of 10. No. I'm not gonna have that much bias. But yeah, I mean, Drake's on it. Drake killed that verse, obviously, as he usually does. So overall, this is really, really good track. I feel like this track definitely deserved a spot on the album. And there was some controversy about this with kind of me and my friend Yazan. I don't know if you guys know him, but you guys don't know him. But we were talking about how P&D tweeted that, because he put out the song back in like February, I want to say. It was like March or February. And when this, released, he said that, hey, this is a standalone track. It's not on the album. And then it ended up being on the album. And so, we tried to find that tweet again, and then we couldn't find that tweet. You know what I'm saying? So I think, there's some suspicious, there's some suspect things going on over there. But, hey, I'm glad I made the track. I mean, I'm glad I made the album. It's fine. This, song definitely deserves to be on an album, definitely. So, yeah, I mean, great track, whatever. It is what it is. Now we're going to go to the finale of Party Next Door 3, Nothing Easy to Please. Track 16, Nothing Easy to Please.
Summer came and went, and I seen you in your BIKI, and
Alright, it's a wrap. Party Next Door 3. Now, I like this track. I like this track a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot more than I expected to like it. This song is kind of showing the effects of what he's been through in this album. You know what I'm saying? About him, like, there's a lot of times, he says in this track where he says, like, my love is not easy to come by. It's not, like, I'm nothing easy to please, take it with the title. Like, there's, it's just showing the effects of, what he's been through throughout the album. And it kind of sounds like he's talking to a new girl when he says, like, oh, my love, doesn't come easy and all that. Like, it sounds like he's talking to someone different from what he's talking to, but then it goes in to him, I guess, again, venting or talking to the same girl that he's been dealing with in this album, right? Where there's a specific line that really, really got me. I was like, that is excellent. Like, that is a superb lyric, and it's right. And it's something that, really hit home with me. It's something that I feel like, will relate to a lot of people. And it was like a wolf howling at the moon when I see you. Like, dude, I feel you, bro. Party, I feel you, man. And I really like this album. You know what I'm saying? I really, really like this whole album, right? And the reason why I like it is because, like, I feel like, kind of in his past stuff, like, there was a lot of good parts and a lot of skippable stuff. And you can say the same thing about this album too. Like, there was definitely a lot of tracks that I did not like. Like, there was a lot of times, it was pretty much 12, 13, and 14. Those tracks I didn't really like. You know what I'm saying? And you guys saw, what I thought of it just right now, but, like, I wasn't feeling it. And granted, that does happen a lot with P&D with me. Like, there are just a lot of tracks, like, I either really love or, really don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like this one had, like, the most consistent likes, in this album. I felt like this whole album had a cohesive feel that I adored. You know what I'm saying? I am definitely gonna spend a lot of time in this album. Like, no lie. Like, like, I'm just starting school. I'm definitely gonna be bumping this in school. You know what I'm saying? And And I just feel like this is such a step up from what he's ever done. You know, this is something that is so refined, and it is a very, very good album. I would recommend this album. You know, if I only, you know, there's only a few tracks I don't like on this, but pretty much for the majority of this album, I definitely loved it. There were a lot of times, you know, I got emotional in this album. It's a very, and he wasn't lying when he said that. Listen, on this album, I'm going to be saying some things. You know, I don't really talk a lot. I don't really tweet. I don't do interviews, but in this album, I'm going to be speaking, and he definitely spoke in this album. He spoke volumes. This is his best work. Period. This is his best work, hands down. This is so much better than a lot of stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? This was amazing. Party Next Door 3, yo, well done, dude. Kudos, man. This was awesome. So yeah, that was my review of Party Next Door 3. If you guys want the content down below, you can follow me in my links, my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all the good stuff, where you can follow me on there. And also down below, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this album? Do you guys like P&D? Do you guys hate him? Why wasn't 2 Chainz on this? You know, I got shout out 2 Chainz. Why wasn't he on this album? Let me know down in the comments below if you guys enjoyed the album. Also, down below, if you support me, if you guys like this content, if you guys support the channel, if you guys like my, you know, persona, if you will, make sure to leave a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate all the feedback you guys give me in the videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I got you.